Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Heavenly Parent and Holy Community of Oceania, Hundoke, with Reverend Yutaka on this day, Thursday, the 11th of March, 2021, being the 28th day of January in the 9th year of Chongyol Guk. So let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and true parents, Choriot Kyombe. Paro. And let's recite the family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족맨세 4. 전위국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 찬조 이사인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 4. Our family, the owner of Chongyol-guk, pledges to build the universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Mrs. Arai if she would offer the opening prayer, please.
Dearest, our Heavenly Parents, true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. Thank you, Heavenly Parents and true parents. Again, we'll study, we'll understand more deeply your heart and your situation. Then we'll change how to attend in this time for our true mother through our study. And I thank you so much for Reverend Yamada to guide us to go deeper heart of our Heavenly Parents and true parents. Heavenly Parents, your providence, you have to always sacrifice those who love you, those who really wanted to come back to you. You have to sacrifice these people, this nation, for save all humankind. And we are so grateful our Jesus Christ soon Easter coming. He truly, he didn't receive any love from parents, brothers and sisters, and relatives, yet he really showed us filial son. He really loved to heavenly parents and understand God's providence. Therefore, last moment, he really willing to offer his life for God and for us. And now after that, our true father and true mother, and their nation, so much self-sacrifice and Johnson. Therefore, we are here now. So we really wanted to feel and learn more deeper heart and desire of Heavenly Parents and true parents, and particularly now true mother. Then we really want to be like her and like true father. And thank you for another new day for study. And we really wanted to change ourselves and better sons and daughters. And coming 2022, 2027, how our true mother are determined and feel every day. So please guide each one of us. How can we change? How, and we know what to do, but how could you give us courage and faith and love to overcome what we have to overcome to accomplish this purpose. Thank you. I report this in the name of Machiko Alive Food Center Breast Family. Adieu.
Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you. So let's welcome now Reverend Yutaka to offer us Undokai. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming this morning from the K. So every morning we can see each other and we can also feel together as the really family offering and family Chonsong and Fundoke together. So this moment really appreciate and grateful to see you, everyone. So how was yesterday? Did you have a good time in yesterday? So
Yes.
every day, yesterday, today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow is better than today. So each day we have a fresh heart, fresh mind, and let's have a great start, great beginning of today. So I will start. Okay. So yesterday we talked about Ho Ho Bin's life. So we know about spiritual group of Christianity. God appointed and God prepared those spiritual Christian group to welcome the Messiah, welcome the second advent. That's why Ho Ho Bin, this inside church, their group itself was also one of the prepared spiritual Christian group. And also Ho Ho Bin was the leader of that. So yesterday, really sharing about contents and also pray for about Ho Ho Bin. Really we can remind again, we have to feel our those central figures heart. So when we see about Ho Ho Bin's life, we learn about 2 or 3 days about her background also. She was one of the member of the Sonju Church, Holy Lord Church, together with Kim Son-do, right? Kim Son-do was really grandmother, and she received the inspiration from God, and she opened the spiritual group, the Holy Lord Church, and she also sacrificed. And there are many kind of members together, work together with Kim Son-do, together with Cho Won-mo, also the Temonim. Almost they offer their life. They left from the house, even Temonim and also husband stayed together differently, but totally offer their life to welcoming the Jesus. And in that moment, under the Japanese occupation, there is serious situation. Government say you have to follow, believe Shintoism, have to deny the Jesus, have to deny the Christianity. But those spiritual groups totally oppose that and keep their life. Many people give up, just follow and compromise in order to survive oneself, deny Jesus, denies, of course, maybe inside of their heart, they are suffering so much, but because in order to survive, really, some of them choose to follow the Japanese army. But those groups, spiritual groups, even they take their life, offer their life, and risk their life. They keep their belief, they keep their life of faith to welcome the second advent in Jesus. And when they follow to the Kim Son-do, but finally Kim Son-do was in prison and she was died. And after that, all people are wandering and they are losing the way. But Ho Ho Bin received a new revelation from God. Jesus will come through the mother's womb. That's why she stood up and she led the group of this inside womb church. And I led this through mother's testimony. So finally, this inside womb church membership is more than 1,200 people. So many people is following that to Hohobin and also the inspiration. So around that kind of moment, Hohobin was standing the central figure to really sacrifice and fighting and keep their life of faith together with the new coming, the second advent. So that kind of moment, she went to the prison and she was challenged that can she deny this inspiration or not, or this kind of belief or not. So this central figure's position is really not simple matter. And finally, she keep their liberation and she could not accept it, the true father's message that time. And also she went to going to die. So those Kim's Ho-Ho-Bin situation. So when we see our central figure, yesterday also our sister Daniela also share, each central figure is actually taking the role instead of us, behalf of us, even Adam's family, even also Noah's family, or Abraham's family, even this current era, Ho-Ho-Bin or Kim Son-do, they are all central figure in the providence. So how about ourselves? If we are same position in Ho-Ho-Bin, what do you think? Can we do the same way to fight with government and also keep the belief of the Jesus and can overcome or not? And that time Ho-Ho-Bin also received the inspiration. We read yesterday. They saw the many crosses, right? So their preparation of cross is from 0 years old until 33 years old, Jesus' life. Not few crosses. This group prepared the whole cross from 0 years old until 33 years old, Jesus' life. And the one cross for 3 days, for 33 years. So how many crosses they prepare for the Jesus and second advent? That much every day they put chanson and they put heart to loving and welcoming and eagerly waited for the second advent. So that kind of situation and environment, she was standing and really almost life and death determination. One decision, one small decision. True Father tried to give this small paper, she could accept or not. This small moment, but she could not take it. Or maybe she keep but didn't think or didn't feel seriously. That's why they found out. Then True Father also received the torture, and they also received the torturing more seriously. So if we are that moment, how much the central figure's position is not easy or serious, and they go through behalf of them, on behalf of us. So if we connect with our heart with them, we can feel liberation or can connect their feeling, and we can see the God's heart. And who is the now central figure in current age or current era? This is our true mother. True mother is standing the same position or more serious position. That meaning is those kind of many serious moment which she have to make a choice. Those moments is continuously coming. How she will decide, how she should decide, go this way or go this way or go this way. All the moment she are facing now, how she will choose and decide. That's why as a central figure, really we can not, they are different person with us. We are all connected toward God's providence then our realization, our connection with our Heavenly Parents' heart, through Mother's heart, will become the deepen and deepen. So 1946, Ho Ho Bin was inside the prison, and True Father was also inside the prison. So we can imagine, and we can also visualize, if Ho Ho Bin that time, if he could receive True Father's offering, True Father said, you deny yourself and just go out from the prison. If they received this message and they went out from the prison, what's happened? Finally, True Father and Ho Ho Bin met that time, and surely True Father and also Chowom Harmony and Temonim met together, and also True Mother was 3 years old that time. True Father was 26 years old that time, and surely they met each other that time. So what kind of situation was happened? All providence was maybe different. That's why each single moment, really we can, if those things was happen, maybe different providence, different situation. So really through prayer, we can feel how much God was really, for each moment, so much sad, so much painful, and so much shock. So this one, maybe today is, I will show this one is maybe for last time. Already I show this one many times. Kim Son-do in Cheolsan. Really the woman's spiritual group. This is really foundation for True Mother. To welcoming, how we can welcome True Mother. And inside Church Ho Ho Bin and Park Ulyon. So Park Ulyon, actually she will meet, True Father will meet her. So when you see that through the God's will and with the world, you know this message or the book, I don't know, title is correct, the God's will and the world, maybe. So when you read this one, you can read, True Father will meet this one of the women, and women asking him to do the many kind of the slave job, and True Father's spiritual position is growing up from the servant of servant and adopted child, continuously going, and finally he restored the position of a king of king. So this kind of a story is coming. So this Park Ulyon, you can read the True Father's message. So this is a three spiritual woman's representative, and this is the male side. So through this position, True Mother's side, this woman's spiritual Christianity group made the foundation. And according to True Mother's testimony, after 1946, around 1948, the Ho Ho Bin's mother called True Mother and to meet her, and she gave the benediction prayer to True Mother. You are the one, you are destined to become the bride of heaven. So True Mother that time received the benediction prayer. She is the bride of heaven. So all foundation of Holy Lord Church Kim Son-do, and inside the Church Ho Ho Bin, and also Chowom Harmony and Temonim were member of Holy Lord Church inside Church. So all foundation, spiritual foundation is going to True Mother. So we can see that those history together. So based on those foundation, spiritual foundation itself was connected to True Mother. So about this part, even short video, I want to, before video. So True Mother's birth, spiritual testimony. That's why surrounding of the True Mother's birth, there are many kinds of spiritual testimony as we studied already. So let's see one by one. The vision. Holy Lord Church, Kim Son-do, she received the vision and she saw the vision. this baby is the daughter of the Lord, and you are but her nanny. Raise her well. So when Kim Son-do, Taemonim met to Kim Son-do told to Taemonim, this baby is the daughter of the Lord, and you are but her nanny. Raise her well. So that moment when True Mother was born, still she was a baby, but Taemonim received those kind of message, and she is the nanny. So she tried, and yeah, she seriously accepted that and invested. The next one, revelation. After the wedding, Taemonim heard, daughter of Hon Yu-il, rejoice. If your child is a son, he is going to become the king of the universe. And if it is a daughter, she will become the queen of the universe. So when Taemonim is preparing about wedding that time, she received the revelation from heaven. Daughter of Hon Yu-il, rejoice. If your child is a son, he is going to become the king of the universe. And if it is a daughter, she will become the queen of the universe. And also, testimony of monk. So, monk also gave testimony about True Mother that time. She will marry a man much older than herself. That man will become the commander of the army, navy, and air force. So already, this monk gave this kind of testimony to True Mother. She will marry a man much older than herself. That man will become the commander of the army, navy, and air force. Yeah, so how about True Father? This age was totally different, 23 years different. And True Father is the commander, king of heaven, king of earth, and king of universe. That's why standing point is already the commander of army, navy, and air force. And also prediction. The mother of Ho-Ho-bin of the inside the womb church. Also she gave this kind of prediction. She is destined to become the bride of heaven. That's why surrounding of True Mother's birth or early childhood time, there are many kinds of spiritual testimony together. Okay. So this is also a short video. Let's see. This centering of Ho-Ho-bin time. Let's start.
August 15th, 1945, liberation. From then, True Mother's mother told her, "Your father is God." Mrs. Hong continued her life of purity and sincerity, and also raised her daughter in order to meet the Lord, the one to become the heaven's wife. Mrs. Hong's daughter, she received a great blessing from the spiritual group. Following the Songju Church, the mother of Ho Bin Ho, who was the head of Bokjun Church that was making preparations to welcome the coming Lord, personally gave True Mother a benediction. At the time, Ho Bin Ho was incarcerated in the Daedong Security Office in Pyongyang with Reverend Moon. Since this time, their fate with the spiritual group was mysteriously intertwined by a great sense of purpose.
They brought True Mother to the Songju order at Onju in North Korea to let her receive the benediction from Ho Bin Ho of Bokjung Church, and it is believed that served as True Mother's condition to receive the blessing of meeting Reverend Moon after 3 generations. Mrs. Moon inherited the preparations made for the second advent who will come in flesh, and became the physical embodiment who received that foundation of sincerity.
Until here. Oh, wait. Yes, so until here, this is the story. So now True Mother is going down to the south. So you saw that one person who gave the testimony, he is Chon Soo-won. I don't know, you know him, Chon Soo-won. He is, I think, maybe one of the 36 couple, and he is a national messiah around Ukraine. And he is actually grandson of Kim Son-do. So later we can see that their children also looking for the true father and the grandchild Kim as Chon Soo-won, he became the member and together with two parents. So he gave also testimony about Kim Son-do. Okay. So participating wholeheartedly in such groups, my grandmother and mother lived with devout faith in order to receive the Lord. For long years, they sincerely believed the prophecy that the only begotten Son, the Savior of the world, will come to the land of Korea. They offered single-minded devotion with unsurpassed zeal and purity. They never compromised with the world or stayed comfortably at home. They served God with heart and soul. So Chilmada's mother, grandmother, Cho Wonmo grandmother, and Temonim, their life of faith toward God, toward Jesus, never compromised. Absolute faith and absolute obedience, absolute love to heavenly parents and true parents. And true mother always looking at and was seeing those their life of faith, and she was grow up. Participating in my grandmother and mother's work on the path of suffering to receive the Lord, I inherited the essence of their faith because they made whatever sacrifice was needed on the path of God's will. The only begotten daughter, for whom Heavenly Parent had long waited and yet of whom the world was ignorant, was born on this earth in the third generation of their family. I was born into this intensely spiritual family in an intensely spiritual milieu and grew up in constant rapport with God, who taught me the mission that was unknown to them, the mission of the Mother of the universe. So grandmother, Chomo grandmother and Temunim, even receiving any kind of suffering, but their heart was ready. Even severe situations, sacrifice, they are already determined to accept. And True Mother herself also received those life of faith, and she also determined. That's why essence of life of faith, True Mother also learning from their parents. Inside of history, God continuously waited and waited for begotten Son and begotten daughter, and finally that moment was alive. That's why True Mother was born and grow up. That kind of intensely spiritual family or serious spiritual family, they are really waited for Jesus. So when I read this point, really some kind of similar with, I think I felt some similar with the Isaac. Abraham totally showed their life of faith, and Isaac just obey even whatever parents say. So True Mother, from even 3 years old, 6 years old, she faced any kind of environment, but totally unite and learning from the parents' love and parents' sacrifice for God and Jesus. So those environment, those intensely or strong or spiritual family where she was grew up well. So there even life of even this situation, they happily accept, they will go through those kind of life. So their commitment and their life is really, really great. So those chapter, we are really learning how about our spiritual group and the Christianity, how much they seriously prepared, and then all things was connected with True Father and True Mother. So continuously going to next, finally, they will leave from North Korean area and going down to the south. Worlds divide at the 38th parallel. You came here to see your mother. The guard asked this question as a formality. He knew why I was there, because I came every day. Yes, sir, I would respond in my soft voice. wait here. He would say in a fatherly tone, I will call her for you. Would you like a candy? So do you know this place? Because already that moment, because the mother and grandmother was a member of Inside Church, so police catch them, caught them, and they are in the prison. So Trimada every day visited the prison and to talk with this guard and also met the mother and grandmother. In 1948, when the oppression of religions by North Korean Communist Party was at its height, my mother and grandmother were imprisoned for nearly 2 weeks for being members of the Inside the Church. I was 5 years old at the time, and I would go to the prison to see my mother. The guards were nice to me because I was polite and well behaved, even those ruthless communists gave me fruit or candy when they saw me. So both of them were prison. And that time that now already government was changed from Japan occupation, and next is the North Korean Communist Party. So that time even already finished the war, finished the occupation of Japan, but now new operation by North Korean Communist Party. That's why that North Korean area, their people are really suffered. That much very serious situation. From 1945 to 1948, this 3 years time period is a special time period between God's side and Satan's side. And this moment was really the kind of a critical moment, whether Christianity will accept second coming or not, accept true Father or not. So like 2000 years ago, the Jewish people finally could not accept Jesus. So those similar situation was happened in this 3 years time. That's why through Father witness and met many kind of a spiritual leader, and many kind of happening was happened. So government externally, there is South Korea government and North Korea government. Government was not established yet, but their fighting or conflict was existing that time, and all the critical moment was happened. So this 3 years time. So all Korean people in the North Korea, they also receive many kind of oppression and also face the difficult situation. So today we are learn about the Holy Lord Church and also the Inside Church, our holy spiritual woman's spiritual central figure group, Hobin's life, and now going to the next stage to going to South. So can you imagine that moment, 1948, true mother was 6 years old, 6 years old, already mother's mother. So Temonim and grandmother was prisoned. 6 years old girl doesn't know anything, but suddenly police catch mother and grandmother. The person only true mother can trust, only true mother can love and stay together. Already 6 years old parents was prison, and maybe she didn't know how long they will stay in the prison. So already in the early time, 6 years old time, true mother face this kind of the severe or painful experience. Of course, she's also explained, yeah, make a friend of the God, but in the 6 years old girl already lose the parents even short time. The mother really went through a painful or serious situation. Really, this normal person's life, there are many kind of environment under the war, under the environment. So through feeding and reminding the mother's story, there is also God's will and God's hope. So I wish how we can find the God's will and also God's message today, and which part really can connect with our life and how we will spend today. Those connection, prayer, and seeking God's heart is important. So today also we will start a new day. We will really finding the heart of heavenly parents and connection with our true parents' heart. Let's create a great day and let's offer the victory and happiness our heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you for joining today. It's a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka. Thank you. So, welcome everyone again. We have 51 people connected today. I was reflecting on how the central figure has to carry the burden, and it's their responsibility. And then I was reflecting on how do we support the central figure? How do we show we are attending and following? And I was reminded of Lord of the Rings, the relationship between Sam and Frodo. And I was thinking of, Sam was Frodo's faithful companion. He was giving him encouragement. He offered to carry the burden. He didn't leave his side. He walked the journey together, never left alone. And I was thinking, that those sort of things are some of the things that we should be doing for the central figure, for our true mother, to give that encouragement, to be that faithful companion. So I was reflecting on, what it means to attend and to follow. And I was just thinking about Lord of the Rings, and also the thing I thought of is, mother went to prison to visit her grandmother and mother, and I wondered, how did she go? Did she go by herself? Who supported her? Who looked after her? How did she cook and clean and things while her parents were in prison? So I just wonder, how much support she got from other people at that time. So there were just some things that really, a suffering course for a central figure, but how so much more the suffering is, especially when they're a child and needing support. All right, thank you. Who'd like to share? Yes, Douglas, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we had read that section before, and I never read it. This was new to me, about Daemonim and her mother being in Daedong prison, and the whole story is very amazing to me. But when True Mother, as 5 years old, comes to visit her mother and befriends the communist guard, gave me incredible hope about True Mother. The fact that she could influence a guard, it's in her DNA now. At 5 years of age, she could see that she could move like heaven and earth, to be able to move someone of such a character, that they talk to her sweetly. She's not expecting trouble when she meets people. She can approach anyone with the highest hopes. Whereas we can't do that, because we're full of regrets and sin and guilt and mistakes, things that we really have to spend our life to repent for. We have apprehension from past failures and mistakes in our relationship with people. True Mother was raised in such an incredibly pure environment that she doesn't have that. So she's free to be herself. Mm-hmm. 3 foundations of woman created such a pure foundation that even at 5 years of age, she had the strength to be able to go to the guard to look after her own parents. You know, some kind of incredible intuition and wisdom. But the thing is, she approached it with such a pure mind. So that gave me hope, because if she has that since she's 5 years old, building on a life where she's never allowed herself to be contaminated by failing thinking, failure thoughts. She has no regrets, no dark spaces. She, at the end of this year, even when she goes, we have to really pray that World Summit 21 this year, she can meet with the North Koreans. And, you know, we're watching things happen in this world today. A thing came to my mind where you see men who live with lions, you know, it's along the same line. I saw a whole mob of lions jump on top of a man playing like little kittens. You know, in Darwin, there's an Australian that wrestles with a crocodile, you know, and True Mother has got this kind of overwhelming spiritual clarity and purity and love, where when she can meet the North Koreans, everything good can happen out of it. And we should have hope because of that, based on that little 5-year-old story. That's what I got out of it, you know. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Who's next? Yes, Atta?
Really powerful story. I was really moved. 5 years old, so sweet.
Okay. Was your hand up then, Atta, or not? No, Atta, no.
No, please. Sorry.
All right. Yes, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Look, I really was hoping to say this at the end, but I just want to give some encouragement to others to speak up and just give you an example of what actually happens even after 30, 40 years in this movement. I remember when I was in the Solomons, John, you must have had this experience that you'd have Sunday service and they'd get up and sing a reasonably mundane song, and then the service would finish and you'd be downstairs getting a drink of water, and all these amazing spiritual songs would start coming out of the service room, where the brothers and sisters, when there was no one looking at them, started to sing all these amazing music. And I used to say to them, why can't you produce this when the service is on? And the point is that a couple of days ago, I put my hand up and spoke at the wrong time, okay? And simple little thing. And I said, oh, not my turn. Okay, sorry. But what actually happens at that time this is to all the people that are out there hesitating to talk. And even after all this time in the movement, accusation comes. And this is in line with what Doug said, the baggage we carry. And, you know, words come to me like, oh, that's because you're not worthy to speak. You know, you made that mistake. You know, you're always doing that. So even now I have to deal with that. So I just want to appeal to all you guys out there. Peter and Alice, miss you so much. And we want to hear from you. You know, one of the best couples in the Solomon Islands. And we're waiting to hear from you. So speak up, guys. You know, we all deal with this. People who put out self-help programs, they get up in the morning and they deal with negative thoughts. So come on, let's go. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Chris. Yes. Yes. Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, just that Chris, or who someone alluded to, it was John, you yourself alluded to the movie Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I often reflect on that movie because I live just over the hill from where that movie was shot. And I used to wander around in the very similar hills just on our farm. And those little hobbits were the most humble people, only ones that could handle the power because everyone else got corrupted by it, you know. But anyway, it tells us it's something. The story tells us something, you know, about needing that real humility that mother had, that really pure heart, you know, that mother had to approach those guards. And I mentioned, was it yesterday, the other day, about the woman who fights the dragon. But there's a movie out, it's called How to Tame Your Dragon. So it's the way the woman fights the dragon is actually not to kill the dragon or in that kind of way, but it's to actually turn the dragon around, you know, and to make it into the dragon that it should have been. Because everything in God's creation, including the angels, have to be restored to be who they should have been, to actually serve humbly. And it's so amazing that Mother intimated when she talked about China. She talked about they should focus on a forest in the Gobi Desert. I mean, that's just such a revelation, you know. It's turning around a nation to focus on healing the world, you know, through environment, you know, that kind of thing, because China is one of the biggest polluters in the world. You know, so yeah, just how to tame the dragon, you know, how to fight the serpent. And our enemies actually is not to kill them because they have to fulfill their mission. So how do we turn them around, you know? And when you love people, then what you project out, if you project out hatred or something, it comes back, you know? So if you project out love, constantly projecting out love, then eventually love will come back to you, you know? So that's really the strategy for victory. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Randall, yep, go ahead.
I think Father was saying one time that the different fallen natures that people have. So for those that have a lot of physical or material, you know, well-being, their type of corruption is sex. Whereas those that don't have the physical and material stuff, then they're looking at corruption, but not so much sex. And if you had a 5-year-old going around by herself in today's society, in the Western world, then we would fear for her. With the type of attitudes that people had there in North Korea, is this part of the things that we can learn from them? Is this kind of like, you know, because they haven't had the material benefits, then these are some of the things that, you know, we're hoping that we can take from them and learn from it and, you know, raise up our society. I was trying to say the other day in maybe in another group that if someone came up to you and said, okay, I want to do business with you, you know, we'll make all this type of stuff, just sign here. Think, why do you want to do business with me? What's the advantage that you want to, you know, that you see about what I can contribute, or you're just trying to rip off different things from me? So for unification of North-South Korea, we have to recognize the benefits and the value of the North Koreans themselves. What is it that we can really learn from them? What is it that we want to, you know, teach others in our society that they already know? So if this is something that, you know, a true mother's experience is, then with North-South unification, her attitude towards it is a lot different than some of the businessmen that are trying to get the unification of North-South. Just a point.
Okay. Thank you, Randall. And Jacinta, you had your hand up before? No.
Yep. Yeah, I just wanted to recount a story that happened last year, because for many years my family kind of resisted anything that I was trying to get them to change their attitude towards me and my family. And they were just like falling asleep in front of me, not listening, just pretending like I didn't say anything. And then last year under lockdown, I thought, I need to change my techniques or my attitude. So I wrote a letter to my brother and I thanked him. Instead of criticizing him, I thanked him for all the things he'd done for me and looking after mum and dad when I wasn't available to look after them. And because and also because I put into my letter that I was concerned about my children who are going through things that he could understand. My brother could understand, you know, the things that's happening to my kids. And it completely changed him. And he went ahead and did sort of really tried to make things easier for me. And that was a miracle for me. And I think I must have been influenced by some Confucianist and Buddhist ideas that in the path of your enemy is also the answer to your problems. The people you think are the most dangerous or difficult people, they have the answer to your problem, but you have to figure out how to get that answer from them, because they won't just come out with it. They somehow have to yeah. Anyway, yeah, I was inspired by that, and also helped me to try and learn from Christians again. Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
All right, thank you, everyone. It's actually that time again when we to share the screen so that we can offer our unison prayer. Thank you. I'll just change. All right, let's begin. Arju, Arju, Arju. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a blessed
Thank you, everyone.
day.
Have a blessed day.
Everyone bless.
Bye, Bruno. Janelle. Yeah, Janelle.
Later.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.